Hello and welcome to The Sanctuary, a safe space to speak from the heart. I'm your guest, Israel. My guest today is Assa Doukoure. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you know what, actually, I've been trying to get this to happen for a while, and then COVID
Yes.
happened, and then we pushed it back, and then I'm doing these virtual things, so I was like, oh man, we have to make this happen. So,
Yeah.
how have you been?
I've been great. Since the last time we talked, it was like I think last year,
Yep,
definitely way before COVID.
definitely.
I've been doing a lot of things. I was at school at the time. Now I've finished, and I'm looking for a job now. So yeah, COVID has been hard for people looking for a job right now. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
through.
Did you finish school before COVID or finish during COVID?
No, I finished before, so I was lucky. I finished like January 2020.
Oh, yeah, cause
Yeah.
like March was the lockdown. How was that for
hmm
you though? You're done getting ready, to start looking for work and just, pretty much get the show on the road. And then we had this lockdown. How was that very first lockdown for you?
So the first lockdown wasn't as bad for me, to be honest, because I had a job at the time. So it was just getting used to like working from home and all of this. In the beginning, like everyone else, we thought it was like a 2 week thing or maybe a month, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And after we realized that it wasn't. But yeah, I just had to get used to working from home, and it was like a transition from going from like a full-time student to now like a full-time worker. That was the part that was a bit difficult, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. But I think it got worse throughout the year. So, like from summer 2020 to now, it was just painful with all the
Yeah, it
COVID stuff.
has been. What
Yeah.
what are some of the changes that you had to adapt to? I mean, apart from having to stay home.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, to be honest, having to stay home in my small apartment 24/7 because going to school and work were like the only main thing that were making me like go outside. And then while I was outside, I was like, I would take advantage and do other things, you know?
Hmm.
But now working from home, having to stay home, it was really difficult. And with the winter, it was even worse because of winter depression and all of that. So yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine. But we'll come back to that. But I want to go way back.
hmm
Way back before you even moved to Canada.
Yeah.
So just from your last name, initially when I saw your last name, I my guess was like you're from Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
I was like, which one, which one? So and then I found out you're from Cote d'Ivoire, right?
Yeah, let me tell you
Yeah,
the story then. So
yeah.
you were thinking right. So my dad is from Senegal and
Boom.
yeah, I know. His grandparents moved to the Ivory Coast, and that's why I'm like from the Ivory Coast because like it's from like
Gotcha.
3 generations ago. So yeah,
Yeah.
but technically I'm from Senegal, yeah.
Yeah, you know
So
what?
that's where the name comes from.
Yeah, and how I guess that name is cause like years, many years ago, there was a book. There is a book. It's called African Child.
hmm
I don't know if you know this book, but anyway,
I
it's
think
it's
I've
this
heard of it.
yeah, it's this guy. He's Senegalese, and he kind of wrote about him growing up in Senegal till
Yeah.
it ends on him getting on the plane to France.
hmm
It's a really, really good story. So that's kind of
Actually,
how
you
I.
know, I think it was like one of the books that we had to like not my
Yep,
generation, my sister had to read in school.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's the one.
yeah. Exactly. That's how I read it. It was one of the books I had to read in school.
Yeah, that's
Exactly,
the
exactly.
one.
Yeah, and then it was for English, and they will ask you questions.
hmm
But it was just a really good book. It was a
Yeah.
really good book. So that's kind of how I knew about that he might be from Senegal because there
hmm
was a name there that sounds like Takure. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. So, how was it like growing up in Cote d'Ivoire?
It was great. I love the Ivory Coast. Like now that I'm here and I kind of like compare both lives, I'm so glad I got like to grow up in a country in Africa, you know. It was
Why?
great. Excuse me.
No, like why?
Uh, I just love like the environment, the community, the people, I the system in the Ivory Coast is not the best, like in a lot of African countries, for developing yourself or building a career and all of that. But other than that, like having my family there, my friends, again, the community, and the fact that Ivorians are so proud to be Ivorian
Mm-hmm,
is really
mm-hmm.
cool as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know how much into football you are, like soccer. I don't know how much into football you are, but like there's this well, friendly rivalry between
Yes.
Ivory Coast and Nigeria when it comes to football.
Yeah. For sure. I feel like being born in the Ivory Coast, you have to be into soccer, you know? You
Yeah,
don't have a
yeah,
choice.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
of course, I am. And
yeah.
of course, we're better than Nigeria, but it's okay.
See,
It's
that is, you know what,
okay.
like that is just, I think it's some teams. Like there was a great Ivory Coast team years ago.
Yeah,
Then they kind of just
it got worse. I won't lie. That's so true. It got worse because like I remember when I was younger, like we would even get like days off for soccer and stuff at
oh,
school just to go
that
watch
is
the
dope,
team.
dope.
If we win, that's like 2 days off from school and work. Like people are crazy about soccer. But yeah, I remember
Yeah.
like the teams being way better when I was younger, and now I'm like I lost interest because I don't know, like they weren't that great, and I was tired of them losing.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when Cote d'Ivoire had Drogba.
Yeah,
Oh
that was
my
like
god.
the top of the top.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah,
so good.
I
He's so good.
know.
And then so what like influenced you deciding to move to Canada? Cause like I'm used to most people moving from like Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire going to France.
Yeah, yeah, like most of my friends.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
most of my friends like moved to Europe, like mostly France or other countries for school. For me, I just really wanted to go like somewhere where they didn't speak French. So I wanted to learn like another language, and English was like the best option because it's like the most spoken language in the world. So I definitely wanted to go somewhere where they spoke English. Now, like the
Mm.
two main countries I was thinking about were Canada and the US. Thank God. I chose Canada because I don't know where I would have been now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's basically why I chose to come here, like far away from everyone. And
Mm,
so I chose Canada, but I didn't know anything about the country, didn't know anything like about where to go and stuff.
hmm.
So me and my dad went to like an agency where they place like students in different school and stuff. So that's how I ended up in Halifax.
Oh,
Yeah.
cause like, but like, have you been to Quebec, like
Yeah,
since
I
you?
have. Yeah, I went to like the major cities like Toronto, Quebec City. Did I go to Quebec City? I think Ottawa and all these, but not like the West Coast. Not yet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a long ass flight to go there, man.
Yeah, I know.
God
It's
damn
crazy.
it!
Like the
Like,
country is huge. Like why?
yeah, like you would sit down, like you'd fly to different countries, and you still have the distance between here and
Yeah,
Vancouver.
from one
It's
coast to the
crazy.
other. It's crazy.
Oh my god! Oh my
That's
god!
why it's so expensive to like travel everywhere here.
Exactly. Oh, frick. Oh, exactly, exactly. Especially if you have to kind of fly, like, like, say you have an emergency. Because if
Hmm.
you have like weeks and weeks to plan, maybe you might get a deal. But
Yeah.
if you have like a week or days, yeah, shit out of luck. So,
Yeah.
you moved here to study, and what did you decide to study?
So I studied environmental science. So I was always interested in renewable energy since I was like 13, 14. I think that's when like I first learned about it. It was like through a school project. So
Mm-hmm.
after I was like, oh, that's great. I want to get involved in the industry. So that's why I continued like thinking about it. So I was like, before taking care of the environment, I kind of have to learn how it works first. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I studied environmental science. And it was a great program because we kind of like touch on everything. We did like geology, geography, we studied like water samples, like soil samples, like we touched on everything.
That is
So
why I'm shaking my head because I like That's so much studying, man. Like, you have to know what rock patterns are and
I
what this
know
is. Oh my
it was
God.
a lot.
But here's one for you though. Based on all these things, on all you've studied in the years you were studying environmental science and now you're done. Um, how do you feel when people say like climate change is not real?
It's funny because we talk about people like that in class and stuff because most people that try to justify it say that, oh, like the world like has been through that before, the earth has been through that before, so it's just like natural, it's just a natural process. But what they don't understand is that this time it wasn't just the earth transforming itself on a like on its natural course, it was us pushing the earth into doing that, so that's the difference. That's why it's not good, basically. And it's just funny because there's always gonna be like people not like conspiracy theorists and all of that, people not trusting science or the government and all. But
Yeah,
people have to realize that science and the government are not the same thing, so they have to make the difference. And
yeah.
I believe in science, so I believe most of the things that are out there that are science based. So yeah.
Exactly. It's also funny to me because people that do the like, oh man, the climate is shit, it's not, climate change is a lie and stuff.
Hmm.
They are doing it on stuff that was created using science. Your phone, your laptop,
Yeah.
all that stuff is science. So are you choosing the different science you are believing? Like, oh, I
Yeah.
like the science that builds my computer, but no, I don't like the one that says I'm messing up the environment. Come
Exactly.
on, make up your mind. Anyway,
I know.
so how was, like, which school did you go to?
St. Mary's.
And how was that experience?
It was great because again I had no idea about the school before I came here. It was just everything was just a first experience for me when I came here. But St. Mary's was great because there's so many international students from like all over the place and a lot of black students as well. So that
Mm-hmm.
was great to get like involved in like the Caribbean Society, the African Society, and all of that. I met a lot of great people. So I really liked that aspect. And also the fact that it's a small school. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, most of my classes, especially for my degree, most of my classes were really small. So it was like kind of like, in the beginning, I didn't like it because I thought it was really invasive because I'm really
Mm,
shy sometimes. But then, like, as the year went through and I was going, like, I had the same people in my class, it was like kind of fun because I already knew them from like the previous years and like I kind of had the
mm.
same professors and all, so it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what were some of the fun things you did? Because you could have been just studying all through.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the parties, like the school parties and stuff. They were really fun, especially the Caribbean parties. They were top tiers. So yeah, they were my favorite. But other than that, like I don't know, again, meeting people from like different background and stuff because being in the Ivory Coast, there's not as much like international people. So coming here and being like involved in different cultures, learning about different cultures. It's great. I love learning about different cultures and like kind of people breaking the stereotypes about their cultures. I love that.
Mm, that's great. So, you do the school thing, you do that. But one thing you also did was, or, still do, is modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that a bit. How did that happen? How did you get into it? What is the story there?
So for modeling, it was like I think it was my second year when I moved here. I always like I always wanted to try modeling, so I was like, that's a great idea. I'm here. I need a new hobby, so might as well. So how I started is that I started just like myself contacting photographers around the city and be like, hey, want to work with
Mm-hmm.
me? I don't have any experience. Please take my photos.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started, like just like messaging a bunch of people and starting like with new photographers and then like working my way to other photographers. And then I met Sulitha from Soli Production and I worked with her
So
for a
Letha
bit
is
as well.
awesome.
I know she's so great. She is a great model and a great like model trainer. I don't know how you call them, but yeah, like practicing with her and all of that was great. And after that, I did. like Halifax Fashion Week, and then I also work with city models.
And what do you like about modeling?
I just like being in front of the camera, to be honest, just like learning. I really do. I know, like, most of the time I'm like introverted and shy and stuff, but I just like
Mhm.
being in front of the camera, just like learning to pose and stuff like that. But also the problem with modeling here in Halifax is that it's really colorist. I won't lie. Just there's not a lot of makeup artists that can like do my makeup properly. Even there's not a lot of photographers that can like edit my photos properly because I would look like ashy or weird on the photos. Like I swear, in the beginning, I'm so lucky I had like a high self-esteem because some of the photos I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, no, I don't, I do not want to see that out there in the
Oh,
world. Like
yeah,
my face
yeah.
would be like ashy because they don't have like makeup for me. This
Mm,
photographer to like fuck up my photos and stuff. But I don't know. I kept going because I wanted better results. Because I think in the beginning I thought it was like just me because I wasn't a great model. I know I'm not the best model
mm.
out there, but I think it wasn't only me. But yeah, and I was doing it because it was fun. Yeah, I liked it, but I'm doing it less now. Because I didn't really have a lot of time while I was going through school and stuff to do it, and now just I don't know, I lost interest a bit now, but yeah.
Mm, mm. And then I guess, do you, even though you've lost interest in it, but let's talk about the Atlantic Fashion Week. How did you get, into that show? What was the process prepping for it? How did it go?
So Atlantic Fashion Week is great. I loved it. I went there twice, so I think it was 2018 and 2019. I went to the casting. We just have to like go do a walk and stuff with your picture and see if you get selected and see what the designer that will select you.
Mm.
So yeah, I went there the first time. It was like so nerve-wracking because there were all these like
Oh, no.
great great photographer and model that I've been like following on Instagram and all that were
Mm.
there. So I was like so stressed, but it
Oh,
went
no.
well. Yeah,
Okay.
it went well because like I don't remember how many designers picked me for the show, but a couple. So it was fun being backstage. It was like hectic, like having to like run around, change, go to another walk. It was cool. It was fun,
So,
and
like, yeah, go on.
mhm. Oh yeah, I
Go
was
on.
just gonna say it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I
but
keep
like,
hitting my finger.
good thing you mentioned the behind the scenes thing, because I'm thinking, like, if you worked for more than like one designer, would you finish everything with one designer, then you go to the next designer, or how does that work?
So when you work for like if you have like two designers back to back, I think it happened to me like a couple of times. What they would do is that I know it was stressful, but they would put you first so that you have time to go change. And
Oh,
sometimes they won't let you do the finale just so you can go to the other one. So that's how they would
yeah.
like time it. But sometimes if there's like a break in between, that's great. You can do the finale and just run back, change, and then go to the other one.
Yeah, well, the more you know. Because, like, I keep wondering, like, behind them must be, like, a crazy madhouse of, like, clothes flying everywhere and people trying to find shoes and,
I
and
know.
stuff like that. So, what do you love? I mean, apart from the fact that you had that experience, finding out about the environment and then studying environmental science, but like, why is I guess preserving the environment important to you?
I just I just really like the environment and I think since I was younger I always thought like wow there's this great thing around us that's like that we're destroying and not taking care of and we
Mm,
wouldn't be anything without it like what's happening like why isn't
mm,
everyone like trying to like work toward protecting the environment right that's how
mm-hmm,
I've always been feeling since I was like younger.
mm,
So I always kind of knew I wanted to get involved in something to do with protecting the environment for sure, but
mm-hmm,
it's just I just need to know where to go with that.
mm, mm, mm. Okay. One other thing. well, let's go back to Instagram. So Instagram, you put up photos. How do you handle, I guess, the fellowship, like the fellowship you have, the number, huge numbers you have? One, and do you ever get like weird messages?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I now less now because I have my account on private, so I even have
Mm,
like less followers and stuff. I think because I don't care about it as much. I used to like care about it a lot, but not in like a toxic way, like oh my god, I had to have followers. But just because it was fun for me, like taking photos, posting them, like following people, just like Instagram was fun for me, you know? So that's
mm-hmm.
how I like build up my followers and just creepy messages every day, all day. Like people sending like weird messages like the fake sugar daddies and all of that. Yeah. But I think like I found like a trick to block people from adding you in weird groups as well. That's also a
Oh,
thing, like how they have like bots that had add you in like groups and be like, oh, come look at my photos and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
found a way to block that too. So that's great. And
How do
now
you do that?
I think you have to go in your setting and then message and then like people have to the only the people you follow can add you in a group instead of just like anyone.
Oh,
So you can
anyone?
like select
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be sure to do that because like one thing I've noticed like especially when I'm putting up a post for a podcast or like for a film or something, I just get it right away. Oh, we'll market your thing. We have 4 million. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I know
what
it's
is
so
going on?
annoying. Yeah. And yeah, also like the fake account that'll be like, "Oh, we're looking for an influencer. Do you message me?" I'm like, "What? No." Yeah. And also now I think I put my account on private and stopped doing Instagram stuff and stuff because I think like I was scared of people not taking me seriously in like the working world for when I would start like in the professional world I should say for when I
Mm-hmm.
would start like looking for a job and stuff because
Mm,
there's already the fact that I'm like black and people are already judging me based on that, so I didn't
mm.
want to give them like another opportunity to judge me in a bad way. So I don't know. So that's why I put like my account on private and stuff because I was
Yeah,
kind of scared
that
of
is
that
actually
side.
something. Yeah, no, no, no. That's one thing I wanted to touch. Being black, coming from Africa, living here. Like Canada, it's great, but like, have you had some negative experiences, um, just based on you being black?
um, I haven't had any like open, like direct, aggressive, like racism toward me. Like the old time racism where people would be like, "Get out of here" and stuff. Go back to your country. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't had that. Well, not like right to my face, anyways. But I have people like crossing the road and stuff, or like not walking beside me because I'm black
Mm,
and stuff. Um, I'd say I experienced a lot of colorism, especially in like again the modeling industry. People not being used to working with black model, but specifically
mm.
dark skin model, because like not only am I black, but I'm also dark skinned. So there's racism from other race, but there's also colorism in my own
Like you
race.
are not light skinned. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's also that. So I've been experiencing colorism since even back in Africa, like people saying I'm too dark or and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm already used to, kind of. So coming here was nothing new to me.
Mm. So I guess, even though you had that experience back in Ivory Coast, moving here, you're in a way immune to it, but how do you navigate it when you sense that, you're being treated a certain way because you are seen as dark skin, black, etc.?
I really used to like ignore it because you'll be like really subtle. Because nowadays, like racism is not just again just people telling you go back to your country or like you black you don't belong here. It's really
Mm,
subtle, like people not including you in things or people expecting you to act a certain way just because you're black,
mm-hmm.
and then they'll be like shocked that you don't act that certain way. And
Mm,
also, yeah, I've experienced a lot of that, and I used to just ignore it because it'll be like, I don't know, it's not worth my time. I shouldn't,
yeah.
pay attention to it because at the end of the day, it's gonna like affect me more than them if I like think about it too much. But now I think it's important to like talk about it and call people out because
Mm.
they've been, living in this life where when they were doing all of this, people would just ignore it and all. But now I think it's important to just speak up about it.
This thing, another thing, talking of your Instagram, there's a link there. Okay, and my French, well, obviously I'm not French, but it's Les Amis d'Enfants. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
okay?
that's
So,
great. Let me dance on phone.
so
Yeah.
tell me a bit about that. Like, what is it? How did it come about?
So for that, it's an organization that my friend and I created. So it is an organization for kids in the Ivory Coast, especially in rural areas. We're just trying to help them out, give them a good time, and also show them that there are people out there that are there for them, especially orphan as well. So we had one event in 2019, yes, in December 2019, so like a Christmas event for
Mm,
orphans in a small village called Cote. So that's where my mom's family comes from.
okay.
Yeah, so we went there. We had this event for the
Wait, you
orphans.
were there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, I went there. It was great. It was just really fun. We planned for 50 kids in the beginning, but then by the end we had enough money for like 100 kids,
That
which
is
was
awesome.
great. I know
Mm,
there was a lot of kids there. We gave them gifts and food and all of this. It was like a party.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was great. We were thinking about doing another event in last year, but unfortunately it didn't
COVID.
happen. Yeah, exactly.
COVID, 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 COVID.
COVID, yeah. So we're thinking about doing something else. So again, my high school friend came up to me, my best friend, and she had this idea. She always talk about like doing something like that, like helping kids and like have an organization. So when she came to me with the idea. I was really excited. I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna be part of it.
Mm.
So we started like organizing it only like 2 months before the actual event. It was really
What?
yeah. So we had to like
When you started planning for the events, were you here or in Ivory Coast?
no, I was here when we started planning. I was
Okay.
working, going to school, and had to plan that while
That
being
is
here.
insane. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and my friend is in the is she lives in France, sorry, and two
I
other
told
of
you.
my yeah
I
everyone
told you.
they
I
all go
told you.
to
They
France.
always
Yeah.
go to France. Yeah. Okay.
I know. And the two other friends that are also involved in it are in the Ivory Coast, so that's how we were like
Okay.
organizing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's really thoughtful. And
Hmm.
why is it important for you to, I know your friend came to meet you with the idea, but why is it important to set something like that up? And how do you feel that now it's up and running?
I love the fact that it's up and running. Like I'm so proud of us for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I accept it because I always wanted to give back somehow. And I didn't know how. And on my own, I didn't really know how, other than like donating every year and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when she came up to me with that, I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And I love helping, especially kids. Like they don't have, especially these kids, they don't have anyone to look after them. They don't have, I don't know, they don't really have anything. So
Mm,
just giving them this hope that there are people out there that are thinking about you, that are there for you, that you can, I don't know, look up to if you want to.
mm.
Just giving them this hope. That's really why I got involved.
And what does les amis d'enfants mean?
It means the children's friend. The children's friend.
Oh, you guys are like
Yeah.
friends with children. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. So now, I mean, with COVID, I guess, how are you guys pivoting the idea you had for last year? Like, what are you changing to, or do you have anything planned?
Yeah, so we were gonna do the same type of like the same style of event that we did in 2019. That's what we're gonna do in 2020 as well. So like do the like donation online and then go back to the Ivory Coast for the event.
Mm,
But I think what we are trying to do this year, if we have anything happening this year or next, will be we're really looking for other organizations to collaborate with. So either organization here in France or even in the Ivory Coast that we can work with. That would be great. And I think the other ideas that we were thinking about were to like revamp a school, so maybe like repaint and like change the like furnitures and all of that. That's
mm,
one of the things that we were thinking about, so again in a rural area. And
yeah.
the other thing was to donate to a small clinic in a village. So these are the two ideas that we have, but we are again looking for people to collaborate with to do that.
Yeah, no, it's really important. It's really important what you're doing and how you are taking all these things that you're passionate about and you're focusing on helping people that are less fortunate. So, thank you to you and your friends for setting up that and helping those kids.
Yeah. And also,
Okay,
I'm trying to,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
No,
I'm
go
trying
ahead.
to include like a more environmental side of it. So not just having the like a party for the kids, we're also trying to educate them about the environment and its importance
Hmm.
because it starts with the kids, right? Like when we are gone, they're the ones that are going to be here. So I think we need to teach them early that the environment is important. Like
Yeah.
I knew from when I was like way younger that we need to take care of the environment somehow.
Hmm.
So I want to transfer that to those kids.
That is awesome. Um, you know what? I want to keep this going, but slowly running out of time. I want to end it with this question though.
Hmm.
Um, with you're pretty much being driven even as a kid from okay, the environment is something that's important, and that's kind of been a thread through your life pretty much to what you studied in school to now like the type of jobs you're looking for to actually imparting the knowledge you have to these children that are part of this organization. How do you keep that passion alive?
It's hard, I won't lie. It's really hard, especially now that I'm like looking for a job in the industry and I can't find it. It's kind of like, I don't know, for a moment I felt like I didn't belong because I couldn't find a job
Mm,
in the industry. So that was kind of like depressing, to be honest. But, and sometimes as well, when I kind of not lose the passion, but like get, not that passionate about it, it's when I feel like there's so many people out there that know so much more than me. So like, am I really passionate about it if I don't know every little thing about the environment? That's how I used to think. And then now I'm like, just the fact that I love the environment and want to take care of it should be enough. I don't have to like, I already have a degree, not that I like know that much, but I think I used to believe that you have to do like huge things for you to be considered like passionate or involved in all of that. But I think just loving what you do and doing like small things every day to protect the
mm.
environment or to learn or to educate yourself is enough.
No, man. Thank you for that. And my grandma always say something. Every little bit counts, right?
Yeah.
And you start small, you add, but if you keep
Hmm.
adding to it, it becomes bigger as time goes. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
every little bit counts. Man, Asa, thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show and
you. It was so
sharing.
much
And
fun.
yeah, no, I had a great time. Like I'm thinking, okay, once you have things in motion for les amis de enfants, it'll be
Hmm.
great to have you come back to talk about how things are going on that end.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. We're trying to do something this year, if not next year, but I will definitely
Mm,
let you know.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.